Hey everyone. Thank you for tuning in tonight for our first anniversary podcast. We've been on for a little bit over a year, about a year and about 2 weeks now.
Mm-hmm.
Yay, us. We made it, guys. I should say family. So, how was our first year?
I think it was really successful. We've got a good number of subscribers, and I know it's slow to start. We put out, got 300 videos.
Yeah. I think
Something like that. We're doing good.
Yeah, I think we're doing good. We got about, well, at that time on September 2nd, we had like 68,000 and some odd views. 300 and I think 60 videos at the time. And 460 subscribers, and now we have 469. So we're doing pretty good. Everybody says we're doing great. So I guess we are.
I think you guys are.
Yes. Yeah. And we owe some thanks to you, dear sister, for coming on, especially last minute sometimes for our paranormal teams, and also for our harebrained ideas of Paranormal Day, Happy 13th Day, Happy Medium Day. So, yeah.
It's Happy National Ghost Hunting Day now, September 27th.
Oh my
just saw. I know. I was like, I gotta text you guys to let you know.
Oh my God. Well, we're having a panel. Paranormal.
Yeah, October 3rd.
So yeah, that can be like a International Ghost Hunting Day.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate being part of your family. You guys are awesome, and I love you guys from the bottom of my heart. So thank you.
We do too. We do too. So, Amber, what do you think?
Oh no, she's muted.
Hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
I was muted on my laptop, but not on the actual screen, so I couldn't see it. I think this year has been very, very fast-paced and very interesting. I mean, we have pulled such a variety of guests, and I've gotten to meet people I would never even think of actually being able to have a conversation with, and it's been kind of beautiful because it's like we've got to witness like a part of their journey and hear their journey, and all at the same time while developing ourselves. It's been very interesting. It's been a great experience, and it's been awesome just to see the variety out there and to be able to kind of, share it and bring it to the public, where we all get a little platform for a moment where we get to speak our truths and see what's out there. I've really enjoyed it.
Absolutely. How about you, Chris? You on mute, I think.
I know I'm on mute. Well, you know, this past year has been a learning curve. You know, it's one of those things where you think that you're very open-minded. You think that you're very broad-minded. Then here comes somebody and they throw something and it kind of jives. You know, you see a grain of truth. And I think this past year has been really fast-paced, very much a learning adventure, and I can't wait to see what the future is going to bring us.
Yeah, one thing that we have discussed, you and I, is that we used to do pagan events and how much work went into those events. And with the podcast, it's still work, but not as much. It's a lot easier. So I love doing them. And one thing that I'm taking away from these podcasts is the knowledge of our guests. I mean, they have given us so much knowledge, a lot of things to think about, stuff that we can go forward and tell others about too as well. And my bookshelves is getting pretty packed. I think I might need another one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, mine is pretty packed too.
Yeah, every time we have a guest on, it's like, oh, I gotta get that book, gotta get that book. And
I need to get Jimmy's new book too, because he has that new book out, and I haven't ordered it yet. I've got to get his new book.
I gotta get that too, along probably 4 other books this next month. But yes, speaking of Jimmy, he has been a great supporter of us. Funny guy, hilarious.
Yes.
He's been on a couple of times as just come on just to hang out. One time as a guest, and he's has shown up in the audience too as well. But his book Lights Out is going to be great for me to read because I know that he's put a lot of work into this book. So I'm really excited to get it and read it and have him come back on too.
Yes.
Oh, we have some amazing guests. I can't say who my favorite guests are because they're all my favorites, actually. I think some of the guests I've been probably way too excited to have on. That probably made myself look like a starstruck in all person, like, oh my god. Which Nico, he was like that with Ogron. Remember that?
Yeah, well, because I went on a deep dive, and it's like I knew who he was. I had like a surface level knowledge of like the things that he had done, and then on my deep dive, as some of you have know if you watched our Pride Month episode, I'm in a non-traditional relationship, and he's the man that started non-monogamous relationships within the pagan community. He's the one who coined the term polyamory. And so I have a deep level of respect for that man for introducing that non-traditional style relationship into the pagan community coming from the free love movement. And like, cuz it's put us to the place where like I can be in these relationships, and like just a huge thank you to him for that, as well as, you know, how many people get to meet the living founders of like American witchcraft.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's the cool thing about what we've gotten to do is we've met founders from multiple traditions.
Oh.
And I think that's super cool.
Yeah. One of the things that I loved about when we got to interview Oberon, his book, I hope I get the name right, Creating Circles and Ceremonies. When I was just, I mean, lack of better words, like a little young witchling, that book is what got rituals down for me. Like there was like an outline in there. It was a book that I believe him and Morning Glory created, and there was this ritual outline, and it broke down all the elements for me on how to, like this is the order. This is when you call the quarters. This is where like the meat and potatoes are of the ritual, and the kind of cool down, like almost social period where you like reconnect with all your coven members, like we did it in a way, and then you wrap it up. And I remember like I had so many post-its sticking out of that book on little sections, and then all of a sudden you have that moment where you get to interview the person and you're like, yeah. And that was one where I had to more watch it than anything, but I'm just sitting there in the questions like I couldn't make it for the interview, but here's all my little tidbits. Thank you so much.
Yeah, they've all been great. I think one of my favorites is the paranormal ones with well, especially with Chris McKinnell, with Annabelle. You know, when we first did the video, the first one, we only got 6 minutes of it. And we was all like, "Holy crap, what's going on? Did Annabelle do this? And she didn't want us to speak about her?" But Chris was very nice. He noticed it was only 6 minutes, and he asked to come on again. And very, very nice guy. I just love him. He is so great. Excuse me. If you don't know who Chris is, he is the grandson of Ed and Lorraine Warren. So it was a pleasure on meeting him and being friends with him and everything.
I would say that was an interview that prior to it, because I didn't make that first round with the interview that wasn't recorded all the way. And I was a little intimidated about the idea of interviewing him. And then he is so pleasant. He is so just level-headed and kind and straightforward. And it was so easy to speak with him. I was, it was a great interview. And even just, you hear about the Conjuring universe and all of that stuff. And to even have any connection, like in like a real life capacity, it was a little bewildering, but it was awesome. It was awesome.
He's so down to earth.
Yeah, far more knowledgeable than I anticipated on like spiritual practices, because it's an area that I don't want to say I see lacking in a lot of paranormal teams, but I'm always happy when the people who are doing paranormal investigations are versed in like spirituality, and it gives me a better glimmer of hope in some regards, that they're treating spirits with more respect than some of the shows that have higher production values and issues.
Oh yeah. Colleen and I have done very
Chrissy,
a lot. I should say a lot together on their paranormal teams and stuff. One of the teams that we did was Ghost Sisters, and I
love them.
I love, Mandy
She was awesome.
Was awesome. She was. There's so many that we have interviewed, and we're coming up with next month being the spooky month. We have probably 9 of them coming up. Well, maybe 8. We have 8 plus the UFO. And speaking with the UFO, that is something that I love to listen to, to read about and everything, but to actually know, people who actually studies UFOs and everything has been awesome. I have learned so much about them. And believe it or not, they're some of our highest rating shows that people views a lot. So it's weird. How about you, Chris? How about the guests we have had?
I would have to say I was kind of starstruck with Jason Myers. I love his music, and it's like, holy cow. Also, when Alexander Cabot came on, I was kind of starstruck there because I love the Cabots. They're so much fun to be with. And that, going on see what was that paranormal.
Well, I think when we did Lori Bruno, we both was on cloud 9. We was like little kids giggling because we was so happy to interview her. We couldn't believe it.
Yeah, because she's somebody who is from our tradition. Not Ravens, not anybody else, but our tradition. And it's like, holy cow, here's the mother of mothers of our path, It was awesome.
Oh,
yes. I think one, do you remember the first one we ever did, the first podcast? Who was our guest?
That was.
I can't remember. That was
it Cadric?
Yes, it was. Cadric Wilson was our number one guest that we had when we started out the podcast. And I remember I messaged my good friend and high priestess and says, "Oh, I'm so nervous and everything because, doing a pagan event is probably a few hundred people, that you speak. But on a podcast, you're going to have lots of people listen to you, not at the same time, but at different times. And I was just nervous and everything. But we did well.
And it was
Very
great
nice
seeing
guy.
him again because he attended was it one of the Colorado Springs Pagan
It was the
Prides?
last pagan pride we had in
Yeah.
Colorado Springs. Yeah.
And so it was nice to like really see him, we have that moment again. And then also, to, you saw him then and then you get to see him now and that progression, what everything that's happened in that time span. Which also makes me think of some of my favorite podcasts that we've done were like Mike Nichols and Kirk Houlihan. Those were two people
really
that we had for Iowa Pagan Pride.
Yeah.
Or Central Iowa Pagan Prides, as like way back in the day when we were hosting those events. And I saw them when I was, just a teenager. And I think Kerr might have been, no, I think Kerr was when I was a young mom.
Yeah.
After I had my oldest. And, I was still just like, I was maybe 20, if that, maybe 19. And it's so interesting, like a decade later to see all the changes that's happened and be more of an adult and get a chance to actually talk to them and see their practices and their progression over time. And like Mike Nichols, he has this book, The Sabbats, and it was one of those books that I had so many Post-its, just little tabs in there of like quick references, just it was one of my go-to books for a while whenever I needed a little inspiration when writing like rituals and stuff. Just that little like, okay, let me just immerse myself in the Sabbat and see and what am I missing? What do I need to add? What's the feelings that are coming to me? I loved that book and I still have it on my shelf and his little message to me from way back when, and it's interesting to see him now and be like, oh,
it's interesting because when I first talked to him about coming on the podcast, he remember you as being my youngest and having a bunch of notes and notebook and everything at his workshop, just writing down everything that he has said. He remembers that, and that's cool. Now, Nick, who was the most silliest person that we interview?
The silliest person that we interviewed? I gotta say the Captain Spaulding cosplayer.
Yes, you got it. It was out of our brand. I know everybody was like, why are we interviewing these clowns? And but it was a favor from a prior guest to come on because she was in the clown society in Texas and she wanted the PR work. And within the Cauldron, we are about diversity. We are about supporting each other too. And Nick and I thought, okay, we're going to do this. We're kind of like dragging ourselves on, and it was awesome.
He was great.
Oh, he was. He was. I mean, Nick and I was like, oh my gosh, this is a good kind of a good way of telling people, don't judge the book by the cover because it was great. It was out of our brand, but he made us laugh. He dressed, oh my God, the part.
He was the accuracy to the character is fascinating. Like I have a deep love of like the horror and fantasy and everything spooky, and just the accuracy to the character was phenomenal. He could mimic the actor's voice and just the lore and the knowledge of the shows, and like to the point that he had the notoriety of the widow of the actor who played Captain Spaulding. as being one of the like best versions of his portrayal. It was super cool.
Yeah.
And just one of those where it's like it wasn't necessarily like our regular witchy content, but it was very enjoyable and fantastic conversation.
Yeah, it was. And then we had haunted dolls. Remember that?
Mhm.
Tiffany, she has 18 of those dolls. We had Dan from Key Rest with
He was
Robert
awesome.
doll. You know, and he's coming back on next month to talk about spooky stories of the Key West, Florida area, which is really nice. I think the nice part about doing what we're doing is that we meet new friends,
Mhm.
and our network has opened up tremendously.
Oh yeah.
That's what I like about it too. And it's nice to have comments in a Facebook group or on email or even notifications here on YouTube to say, hey, I love this episode, or hey, how can I get a hold of this person? I want to know more. Like Lorelei Black, I know Nick, you took her courses and
Yeah.
you finished the courses and you told her about it, and it was fantastic.
Yeah.
So
Because I was talking with one of our friends, and she was like, "There, I'm surprised that there's not like a folkloric, like American witchcraft tradition." And so I went down the rabbit hole, and I found out that there, in fact, is. And the more I looked into the blogs for the Red Thread Academy and the Spiral Castle tradition, the more I realized that it really resonated with my current practice. And it was like, and then I was like, okay, well, how much are these like course books? And I was like, oh, they're really affordable. They're $20 a piece. And I was
Wow.
like, we got to get her, and it's like a full course study. There's you can get ordination through it if you weren't previously ordained. It is a 3-year course. Um, she's just put out a couple more books, which are just the grimoires for the tradition. So if you're not interested in joining like a mystery school type thing, but you're interested in like American folkloric witchcraft, you can buy the grimoires.
Nice.
Or, but the lore itself was super fascinating. And her background as an English teacher makes the courses super digestible because she was so used to structuring course material because she was a teacher. And it breaks it down like week by week, like this is what you do week by week, here's your homework. There's places to turn in your homework if you want to pursue the ordination, or if you're doing self-study. um, you can do both options, it doesn't matter. um, and there's a Discord server where there are like quote unquote mentors that can walk you through stuff you can turn in the homework to, and there's like a community around it. And
I'd love to do that.
it's really cool. And I got really into it. And in the first book, she's like, "This is traditional witchcraft, and it may be super extreme for some people, but also it might not be nearly as extreme as you think it is." And I kind of fell in the latter because I study historical witchcraft, so my focus is between like the 14th and the 18th centuries. And so going through with it is really cool to see how she modernized it. And like absolutely hands down, like a fantastic tradition that's super affordable to get into. Um, and I'll always speak highly of her tradition and Josephine McCarthy's traditions, both of which I've done all of their coursework in. Josephine McCarthy's tradition is Cuaria, and she published an entire series um, which is, I believe it's a 5-year course, and it walks you through her whole mystery school. And she's also got a book, which I'm hoping comes back in print, which was the Exorcist Handbook, which was my introduction to her as an author. I had a friend recommend it because I do house cleansings and things on the side. And she's like, if you haven't found this book yet, you need to get this lady's book. She pulls out a copy and I'm flipping through it, and like, it's like a 400-page book.
Wow.
And first off, I love a thick witchcraft book. And like, just her brain process through like how detailed things are, and like her experiences, and like, super great. Both of those authors and both of those traditions I will always recommend, as well as Lavecchia and many other traditions. If you need to know where to learn some sort of mystery school, ask. We probably know them.
Yeah, I would say so. And we also like to make wishes come true, because remember Drew, she was really excited when we have her or had her on when we interview the author of Hecate, Cynthia Brandon, and oh my God, Drew was just on cloud 9.
She was.
Yeah, and it's great because it's not about our family; it's also about others as well, to make them happy, to make them like, oh my God, I came on a podcast and I talked to somebody who I really liked and everything. So that makes us happy. I know it makes me happy. I was like, yes, um, there's so many people that we have done, authors, different paths, paranormal, UFOs, cryptids, even musical guests. Remember Kellyanna? She actually sang a verse on the podcast. Lord Alexian would play one of his songs on the podcast. We had some really great, fabulous guests. We have been very, very blessed.
Oh yeah. Well, and
definitely
it's nice going from like we've had some big names out there. We've had some, up and comings, and it's just great to have that moment where we get to just bring the exposure, bring the knowledge, ask those questions that you've just been, like as you're reading their book and you have that thought in the back of their head, like, how did they even really get on this path more? Like for instance, when we had Christopher Penzak back towards our beginning days, where it was just this moment where you're like, I feel like I'm actually like hearing some new, having those moments where you're hearing some new knowledge, new things about his life and what got him there. That it was just awesome to have that moment. Yeah, gosh, there's been so many people throughout the year.
And even a YouTuber, White Raven, that your dad is like, oh yeah, we gotta get her on. And I'll go, you want her on? I go, okay, let's see if we can make it happen. And we did. And she was like, you want me? I'm just a and Chris is like, yes, but you're great. Remember that, Chris?
She's a superstar. She really is.
Because I watch her too.
A lot of people, how can I say it, misconceive me about magic, defensive magic. I believe that it is unnecessary. But I think that there's a lot of people who really need to learn this type of magic because of their life situations. They need to learn to protect themselves. And I view her as like Raven Grimasu. She's so knowledgeable. Her spell casting, her spells and everything. If you really start tearing down her spell work, she is phenomenal. She is a superstar within witchcraft.
That she is. And, and I'm really excited because, we have a family of 5 that is on the podcast, but we added Colleen, Medium Red, as our spirit sister, or I should say spirit aunt too, to the so
Thank you.
it's been awesome working with her, and I just love it when she comes up with ideas too. Hey, should we do this? Can we do this? Hey, I'm going to contact this person, and it's like, yes, thank you. Somebody is going out there and says, hey, so this next year, I'm really excited to see what will be happening, the guests that we will be having. I
That'd be
know
exciting.
my oldest son, Michael, set us up with the author of Witches of Scotland.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
He has 8 books out there, and I'm just like, oh, great! I have to read these books now, but hey, I have to reread some of them. It's like, yeah, I'm happy, but he's not even part.
Oh, you muted yourself.
Oh,
But he's our son, Amber's brother, and he's supportive, So it's the family is supportive of us too as well. Our friends, our coven, pagan friends. So I just want to say thank you to all the audience that tunes in. I know some of us probably seem silly, like me, on the podcast. We all get nervous, and I still get nervous at times. I think it's just saying the good questions, making sure they're not lame or anything or stupid, trying to keep up with the times of their new books coming out, new music or anything, which we have made a mistake. Oh, that was an old book. Okay, somebody before me, and it's like, oh my gosh. So, but hey, we covered up pretty good, didn't we, Colleen?
Yes,
we did. So
he was good about that.
he even came back. So I guess so yeah, I am really expecting some more guests. I don't know how things are going to turn out. So far so good. So to another second year. I just want to say thank you for everybody who's like, oh, you guys need to start a podcast. Well, we did.
Yep,
let's take a moment to talk about that for the viewers who don't know, who maybe have come on later on. So within the Cauldron, we'll just do a little backstory. It started as just a simple Facebook group where we were like,
a lame name.
we were all kind of having our little moments with the community where we're like, I just want something that we can do from home, something easy, something. A lot of us have children, and we're just like, let's just make this easy for us. Let's get out in the community and let's have a moment where we can learn and we can talk to each other and we can meet other witches and other pagan people and spiritualists, and just keep that cauldron stirring without having to pay a bunch, without having to drive across the country, without having to take a flight somewhere, without having to spend hours in the car, and just have that community. And we started doing bi-weekly discussions where we would just pick a topic, post an event, and if you guys want to come and talk, let's talk. And it wasn't our goal was it wasn't going to be classes. We were taking a little step back from teaching, and we just wanted to connect our peers out there. And then we were kind of getting out of that. We got used to COVID for a while, where everything kind of changed. We went to an online platform, and then we kind of just kept going with it because it was so nice to have people from far away be able to like basically be in your living room with you, at almost no cost. And then Nico, our cousin, he started attending our events, our discussions, and we were like, oh my gosh. And we had jokes about his hair being like full of witchy secrets. Oh yeah. And he was always just full of little nuggets of knowledge. And then, he was just like, hey, do you want to help out more? And he's like, yeah, absolutely. I love this. And one thing led to another, and after every discussion, it'd be like me, Amy, sometimes my mom, definitely Nico, and we would sit there and have like this
After hours.
After hours, and just talk
Mhm.
all things magical. For God,
Mhm.
I remember one night we were up to like 2 in the morning talking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but that should have been the show, though, because people missed a lot of knowledge that was just pouring out of her mouth.
I
Oh, yeah.
know, but some of that,
Yeah.
like, there was no way we could have recorded that because some of that went so.
Some of it went into
Related.
our dating lives. We talked romantic lives. We talked. At the time, I was dating very avidly after a divorce, so people heard all sorts of randomness.
Oh yeah, the
Oh yeah,
tea, the tea. Some of that couldn't have made it, but God, it would have been great.
oh yeah, and somebody at some point, I don't remember how it came about, but they were talking to me, Amy, and like Nico and my mom, and they were like, "You guys should do a podcast. I could just listen to you guys talk." And we kind of kept pushing it off and pushing it off, like it's not the night, it's not the right time, it's not this, it's not that. And then my mom and Nico got together, and they're like, "It's time. We're not going to wait on these two girls to decide that it's time to do it. We're just going to do it."
Chrissy asked me,
And
like, okay, people really want this, but I don't know anything about it. And I was like, let me like look around.
But
And
Nico is my partner in crime. You know, it's always him and I that is like doing things, and we just like, "Okay, you guys just catch up."
we found a platform, and I taught myself how to do it. And it's like I taught myself how to code for our Discord. And it's like, okay, well, if I can teach myself basic code, I can teach myself video editing or like whatever the hell we need for this. And get the girls on board, and we picked a day. We launched our first episode, and
Well, I remember you said, Nico, you said, "Okay, I'm going live on StreamYard. It's going to go to our YouTube channel. You even in with me or you stay behind." And it's like, okay, we jump on. We didn't really have a choice, Nico. You just kind of
it's just going.
put it out there and says, "Come on, the train is leaving."
Well, yeah, you were talking about it. Then I jumped on it, and my Aries Aquarius brain goes, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna fan the fire, and I'm gonna do it. So I made the YouTube account, and then I initially was paying for the StreamYard myself, and I was like, okay, I flipped the bill, I made the account. Here's the invite link. Show up, or I'm talking to myself.
Oh yeah. Well, and then next thing you know, one thing led to another, and my mom started reaching out to all her like pagan connections throughout the years from all the pagan pride events. Just kept pulling and pulling and pulling. I know this person, or like,
I went
hey,
overboard. I went overboard.
Oh yeah,
That's
there
okay.
was a whole.
You didn't go overboard.
That's right.
Oh.
Well, and at first we were trying to like, okay, let's slow down. Let's, we wanted to just. It's like we wanted to fully research every single guest, like everything. We wanted to know everything. We wanted to know like what page 30 of their book said. And then we were like, actually, let's this also be a discovery moment for us too. Let's reach out to them and let's get to know them. And sometimes we know we've read their books, we are fangirling, we're just trying to keep it inside and not like stumble over our words while we're talking to them. And other times we're like, you're almost a relative stranger, but I'd love to get to know you. And I love what I've seen online, and like, let's just take a moment to like meet you and introduce you.
Or the otherwise, where it's like, I've never picked up a book of yours a day in my life. And here I am about to have an in-depth conversation with you and get totally surprised, then find a new author you like.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
And it's been interesting. Like, we've interviewed people where I'm like, for myself, I was like, I don't know if I'm being judgy or not. I don't know if I'm going to like this person. I don't know if I'm going to connect. And then next thing you know, like probably like the 5-minute mark, I'm like, oh, I have questions, and I'm like pumping the brakes. Like, no, I have to wait for my turn. I have to wait for my turn. Oh, wait, now he got interest. Like, he went down another rabbit hole, and I'm sitting there with like a notebook next to me, trying to like make notes, things to look into after it. And all I'm thinking is like, if I could just like take a research hour and then come back, I'd love it. I want to drive right back into this conversation again.
And then I've had the opposite too, where it's like, I really like your books, and you must have a very good editor, because like I don't understand how that like where did the paper like what's on paper come from? Because like I don't get it like that. Ew.
Yeah.
Well, also doing the podcast, we have others that said, "Hey, you need to write a book," which Nico and I both did.
Yeah.
And well, I should say Chris and Amber also contribute as well.
But you were the power driver on that one for sure.
So we can say we're authors now too, to our plate of all the yummy stuff that we have on there as well. So, it really helped us a lot with the community, not just talking, but, we educate everyone plus ourselves. I think it's great because when I did Christine Cunningham Ainsworth, when I was reading her books, that's Scott Cunningham's sister. And when I was reading her books, I realized that my dad had a bunch of books by her dad, Chet Cunningham.
Oh, wow.
And it's like, oh my gosh. So my dad read her dad books. We read Scott's books. And now I'm reading her books. And it's like, oh my God. I feel like I'm really close to her now because it's like my family and her family, we kind of bonded over books. So it was kind of awesome. So.
And it's also been it's interesting because I feel like we were, at least for me, I was at this point where I wanted to get out there. I had moved around a lot, lived in different states, different parts of the country, and then it was just like I want to reconnect with people. I want to build that community. And I feel like with some past experiences, how we've mentioned in some of the shows, where sometimes for putting together a pagan event in person, it can be exhausting. It can be, a lot of people, they want it, but they don't want to do the work. But then we've had other guests, like other coordinators over events, like Tish Owen with Puff. And, it's just been great to like see that, it's still out there. There's still people willing to put the work in, who have gotten the right people together and are still putting out those events. And it's nice to be able to do our part in our own way. I mean, ours is in a much more obviously online platform, but it's been great just to get people together.
I think it's more intimate too. I think it's a much more intimate platform too, to be able to have these people on, and then, like people can log on and watch the show and they can interact with questions and things like that. I think that's, it's a much more one-on-one in that aspect, which is, for me, I love it because for me, that's how I learn,
Oh yeah. Well, and you're not wandering around. You're like, who can I talk to? Who will I jive with? How about if I don't jive with them? What do I do? And it's like, even if we don't drive, that's okay. It'll be done in an hour or two. And if we do jive, then it's like fantastic. Now we're almost begging them to come back on the show because we want to continue the conversation.
Exactly.
And what I like is we did have a few guests where my internet was messed up and I was like off stage, kicked out, and they kept on going on talking. That is like a good performer, because like, yep, I got you covered, So it's really nice to have guests that is very supportive and know what to do instead of just like, oh, what do I do? Just go, leave, or what, and to stay on. So that's awesome.
For me, it's like how can I say it? The dog looking at their master, like, uh-oh, I'm in trouble. There's trouble. You know what I'm saying? Where the eyes just go, holy cow.
Yeah,
I love watching authors when something like that happens. And it doesn't matter who it is. I like it when they're like this big surprise, like, uh-oh, I'm here by myself. You know what I'm saying? I love that look.
Yeah. Well, it's nice when somebody said, I really enjoy your podcast because you're just out there. You just You know, everything is real. Everything is raw. You guys you don't edit. You just go forward because you're showing everybody else that everybody can be the true self, no matter if it's silly or professional or what. And I guess that's a good compliment. So unless they're saying you really need to edit. So
I think that we've had our oh cow moments, on being on live. We've had those moments where, this ain't right, this ain't right, or we say the wrong thing. We want people to see the truth. We're not perfect.
Well, we're human.
We try to be perfect, but we'll never be perfect.
Oh yeah, we're excuse me. We're not only human, but most of us have, a job outside of this, and then it's one of those things where it's like not only we're human, we're parents, we're students, we're working in society and then carving out time to do things like this. And it's showing people that you can be spiritual and like miss the full moon or miss this Sabbath, or it's okay if you don't do witchcraft every day or every weekend, or like that doesn't matter. Like
I
And I
believe
think
you're
that there's
on the
so
road.
many various definitions of what all of that can mean to you
Yeah.
compared to
Exactly,
somebody
Amber.
else. And everybody, I mean, everyone has their own like legitimacy in that. That it's
Yeah.
okay and it's 100%. It doesn't mean you're doing lesser or you're not striving on your path as others.
Mhm.
Just really to, I guess, bring everyone together and say like there's some commonality between you and them, whether they have 10 books and they're full steam ahead and you're just struggling to write in your book of shadows at night or even like once a month. Like it's okay. Just keep going.
I think that the biggest thing for everybody to realize is if we take 5 minutes during these PowerPoints of the year, if we take time out during the Maiden, Mother, and Crone Moon, and we acknowledge the gods, all it takes is 5 minutes.
It's true.
5 minutes.
Go open your
And a
curtains.
lot of people, oh, I'm so tired. Well, I got news for you. There's times that I'm tired too, but I take that time out to acknowledge him. It might be 2 or 3 times during the day. I do every day.
Well, I mean, and there's such simple practices out there that I don't think people are aware of. Like sometimes, I mean, I'll be the first to admit it. Sometimes there's moments where, especially when I had younger kids, even younger than they are now, like a baby on my hip, where all I had time to do was to walk out in the yard during a full moon and just feel her light wash upon me.
Right.
And just have that, that moment of connection before the baby started crying again. And then it's like, okay, well, let's go back in. I got my connection in. I feel better. I feel charged enough to continue on in my cycle.
Yeah,
And
but a lot of people, Amber, they believe that they have to create a full ritual, the circle, and stuff like that to acknowledge the gods. But what they forget is all you have to do is talk. Talking is magic.
Mm-hmm.
It is the difference between being a witch that says they're a witch or a witch who actually acknowledges and realizes that magic flows within us on a full-time basis. That acknowledgement.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm going off on a tangent again.
No, not at all. I love to hear Chris talk.
Everybody does.
It really is. It's important for us to realize we're human.
Mhm.
Religion has lied to us.
Yeah.
So all we have to do is reach out and acknowledge. That is where the true magic begins.
Absolutely.
So can I ask you guys something? In this past year, how much have you learned?
Oh my
Can
God.
you measure it? There's no way to measure it.
No.
But we've
I mean,
learned a lot. We have learned a lot.
Mhm.
Now, imagine hearing about 5, 10 years, somebody's going to come across all these videos that we've done. Have we done our charge to the goddess? What we were sent here to do? I would say, yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we're fulfilling what we're putting out educational content and introducing people to new authors, reminding people of founders of witchcraft traditions, and
Yeah.
bringing not only joy to ourselves, but like putting information out there. And
Mhm.
ultimately, I think that's all the gods really want is that, we're not trying to force a spirituality or religion down people's throats. We're trying to, show people the buffet that's laid out in front of them and be like, hey, look, it's all you can eat. Like, pick a plate.
You can choose.
Like,
Exactly.
Please come back for seconds and thirds. That's usually,
But
the way I
the
acknowledge it.
thing is that the diversity that we have, because we have done shows like Everything Goths and just bring on the goth people and talk about their lifestyles, vampires,
Mhm.
Michelle Balanche,
vampires.
the Vampire Codex that she wrote, um, that was a good podcast. It taught others about vampires. All things cemeteries. We did a cemetery episode to help those who were afraid of going to cemeteries that, yeah, it's okay. So, it's just the diversity that we talk about that makes it a very good education for everybody, even with the cryptids.
Mhm.
And, of course, my love for the paranormal too, as well as medium red, I mean, I learn a lot from other people's stories as well.
Same here.
Good content, and I think if you have good content and just kind of concentrate on educating everybody, that is going to make a good podcast.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. I agree. And I've learned so much from all of the guests, and I've learned so much from you as well, all of you. I mean, it's been fabulous, and including Amy as well. I mean, she's a hoot. I love her. She's so funny.
Oh,
She's
I
feisty.
love you too, Amber, but she's like this little character that's always hiding behind your mom.
She does. She does. It's just like everybody's going to think we have a half a face.
I know, I'm
She
like, she needs to get in the picture, She needs to move over to the video.
She
I
has
know.
her own laptop, but she just won't use it. And,
I'm at the point
face.
where I'm gonna make a custom layout so that I can make Chrissy's box bigger than everybody else's.
Oh, there you go.
It forces Amy to be in frame.
There you go.
She would find some way to get out.
I'll be like across the room all of a sudden.
Yeah, and all of a sudden she's like,
roll away.
Or she talks over to the side and it's like, come here, so they know that I'm not talking to a ghost or something, And
well, you hear this little voice in the background, and like, that's not Chrissy's voice.
You know what we need to do is get a cardboard cutout of Amy and put that paper cutout, that cardboard cutout in front of her PC.
There you go.
And have her talk on the side.
I'm just picturing the day that she realizes that's in the picture.
They have face tracking cameras, and
there you go.
so they will center to your face. And I'm sitting there like, if we get Chrissy one of these, and then Amy's trying to scoot away in the background, and then like it's just dragging.
Every little inch moves.
I think that's a good idea, Nico.
If you have a cutout of Amy, she has to approve the picture. Believe me, because she's a person who's like,
picky.
I don't look good in that picture. Do another one. Nope, not that one. Nope, not that one. We go through about 10 or 20 pictures until she realizes, oh, this one is okay. I take this one. And it was the first one you showed her the first place. So
you just go to her TikTok and you just grab one of her mirror selfies and just use that. She's already put it on the internet. She liked it.
It's already proved.
Yeah, go off of Facebook. Use the one from Facebook.
All right. So before we wrap up this episode, what would you say if you had to choose? Well, we'll just say one goal. One goal out of all your goals for the next year of within the Cauldron. What would you say yours is? You had a primary focus or a redirection, I guess,
So
you're going to
who are
take.
you addressing this to?
All of you.
us?
All of you.
All of us.
Yes.
To enlighten as many people as possible. That's my main goal. Always has been.
I think I'm gonna get weird with it. I want to like show people the weird, crazy things in witchcraft, like niche traditions and like out there theories, and just have a fun time. Like I want to go down those weird little rabbit holes because I absolutely love that. But like, I want to find some like people in like crazy practices. And like not crazy like I need a straitjacket, but like the niche practices that like people don't know a lot about. Like we've done psychic vampirism, we've done Satanism, we've done theistic Satanism and Luciferianism. Where else can I take it? Like, can we get like a Kimbanda? Can I get like Haitian Voodoo? Can I get
How
Spiritismo?
about a really popular topic nowadays? The Anunnaki.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Anunnaki. I would be interested to get somebody who is qualified to talk about like there was a big thing a while ago, shifting, where like you consciously move yourself through realities. Because there was a new research paper done that they've confirmed that your consciousness does shift through realities.
Yeah.
And
why wouldn't it?
Exactly.
I have to go back and read the article, but it was an interesting concept because initially I kind of hated the idea of perpetuating what I kind of thought was like a spiritual psychosis, where it's like, okay, if I meditate really hard, I can just throw myself into a different timeline to suit whatever I want. And I was like, that just seems really like weird, but like I do believe that like we do kind of fall into different timelines for whatever reason.
That is quantum physics there that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Which is very interesting. But
it is.
But you know what's really cool is witches, they practice it, but they don't realize it. Then when they do try to practice it, they complicate it.
Yeah, they get hung up on weird things. And
it's like getting more hung up in your left side of your brain versus the right side of your brain.
Yeah. That's how you become as a witch interdimensional. Because when we step into in between worlds, we're becoming interdimensional. And a lot of people, they complicate it because knowledge is great, but sometimes knowing the magic trick isn't always great, because then you become introvert, extrovert, what do you call it, a hang up, it becomes a big hang up.
That happens in mediumship too, because again, when we're as a medium talking to the spirits, and I told Chrissy I'm trying to get Patty Negri on to the podcast because I'm taking a class from her, and the one reason why I liked her class is that it deals with more of the, like you're talking about, Nico, the more paranormal part of it. And so, but as mediums, we do that. When we're getting the message and we're trying to vocalize it, oftentimes we'll turn around and let our left side of our brain, our analytical brain, get in there and get in the way. And the next thing you know, it's like the message is convoluted or it's lost. So it's like that balance between trying to understand, shut that off, let the right brain go, let the intuition just work.
Yeah.
How about you, Amber?
Well, they kind of stole mine. I really want to find just those traditions that you don't hear about as much. I want to find those practitioners and really give them a chance to spotlight themselves and to share. and to introduce something new, just something very new, very different, very, I don't know, off the mainstream for witchy stuff. I really want to dig those people out and give them a chance. I'd also, I kind of made it a goal. I want to find like a besom maker, like a broom maker, or like a witchy tool maker, and bring them on the show. I think it
I
would be
know a
awesome
couple,
to
and I've
talk
been
about that
trying. I've been
process. So
trying.
yeah, so I want to bring those people to light, the ones that make the things that we use, that we sometimes take for granted of in the craft, and the things that we put on our list, like when we're starting, that you're like, I need to have this item. I want to bring those people out, the ones that help us direct our energy. I think that
That's
would be
cool.
I know a couple. I have an old friend who makes staves. Um,
Bless you.
there's a couple broom makers that I follow that I've been begging to come on the show, and they make crazy brooms. Um, and then like lapidary people, like the pagan jewelry people.
Oh yeah.
Because like one of the weird things, not only do I go to the metaphysical shop, we have a local lapidary shop where they make custom jewelry out of semi-precious stones and things, and they sell like stone carvings, the orbs and things like that, but they sell everything for you to do it at home.
Oh, that's cool.
And I, as a hobby, used to do silversmithing, which a lot of people don't know. And so I became friends with the guys that run the shop. And well, they sell all of these like gorgeous, gorgeous pieces of jewelry. They're not really like super witchy, but they're aware of like the spiritual like aspects of things. And they're like, we just make jewelry. Like, we know you're the witch coming here for specific jewelry. Like, we picked that up, but like, we're not necessarily the witches.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I appreciate it though, because like, they make some beautiful jewelry.
I think for me, it's all of the above that you guys
Mhm.
have spoke. Um, I really like to have Jason Hawes for one.
Mm.
I've been a fan of his for years. So yes, I like him and Satori, his daughter, to come on to talk about the Conjuring house and everything, since that's going to forbid on Halloween.
October 31st. Yeah.
I think Matt Rife is trying to buy that one too.
Yeah.
I'm not know for sure, but I like to have him on too, and Elton Castile to talk about why they bought the Warren house, what's going on
Right.
with that, and everything. It's like I talked to Chris McKenna a long time ago. I like to have truth of what's going on.
Mhm.
I don't want no make up fake stuff, because what you hear on Facebook or the news, you don't know if it's true
There's so
or not.
much speculation and
Right.
rumors,
But
and
when you hear it from the person's mouth, it's like, oh, okay, it has to be true. It came from the horse's mouth. So
Exactly.
I like to see see them to come on, which yeah, I go big, I know. So,
mm,
Yeah, we'll get there. I love it. I will help you with that
yeah,
because I'm a fan too, so I would love to.
mm.
Mhm.
and but I think where we're going now, did this past year, it was great. I mean, we worked hard at it. We put ourselves out there, outside the box. Um, email, phone call. We just told people, "Hey, want to come on?" I think out of our guests, we only had like two that actually had to deny us, because one was denying us because everything was going on in the government and everything. She just
Mhm.
didn't feel like doing anything, and the other was just too busy, couldn't
Mhm.
Mhm.
fit it in. So two people who denied us out of
300.
whatever, yeah, as many as we
Good
did.
amount, yeah.
Yeah,
That's pretty good. So yeah.
that
So
is. It's good.
I just want to just keep going forward and not stop. That's it.
Yeah.
Wow. What about you, Medium Red? What are you looking forward to? What's your goal for the next year, do you think?
You know what? One thing that I was going to talk to Chrissy about too, it'd be fun to have somebody on that could talk about crystals and using crystals in,
I can't.
mediumship. Like Nico, yeah, I know. I mean, you're awesome with herbs and crystals and everything. I mean, it's incredible. So, I mean, somebody to talk about, like I often go towards blue lace agate, when I'm trying to calm myself down and I'm in a particularly bad situation. And I've got this perfect blue lace agate that's like the right size in my hand, and I just instantly go to it. I'm drawn to carnelian, and I use that a lot. I have a carnelian in my purse all the time, and a tourmaline for protection, and carnelian for, mediumship. So I would love it if we could get some. What's that?
Carnelian's really good for people that are clumsy too.
Yeah,
The colors are gorgeous.
Yeah.
Great for courage and willpower. But I gift carnelian out so much to
I do too.
friends and family as like an anti-accident charm.
Yeah.
It's supposed to ward against like accidents.
Right.
So I keep one in my car. I keep one in my bag. I'm known to like give them out in like housewarming wards. Like if I give you a house plant, it's got a sneaky carnelian in there and some
I love it.
prosperity. And like, yeah, like absolutely. And like, oh god, I could talk about crystals all day.
I got you.
See, that would be perfect.
I have a friend, Kate, that actually sells crystals online. She has, so yeah. She's also a spirit sister, so I can probably get her come on if she wants to. She might be shy, but we can get her come on. Whether she talks just audio or on the camera and audio both, it'd be great. But yeah, I think I got her.
So I could see that. And plus, I'm just really excited about, Christy and I joining forces to get more paranormal people on, because I feel like that is, for me, I get to learn more about them. And like you, wanting the truth, I'm the same way. I want to hear from the horse's mouth exactly what they're saying. So I've been very blessed to have that with you guys. And I'm very blessed to be part of your lives. Thank you so much.
Well, you would have your
thank you for sharing your life.
All next month, it'll probably be me and you, babe.
That's been so cool for me is that I joined an amateur paranormal team years ago and had a blast doing it. And meeting like these like professional or like legitimately professional teams is super cool. And hearing like different experiences, and obviously like we mostly did local things, but listening to people who do paranormal investigations like across the country or like in different parts of the world is super cool because they're investigating places that I may never get to see.
Yeah.
And that's super cool.
Mm-hmm. It is. It really is.
Well, I hate to say goodbye to everybody, but I know it's getting late, and some of us has homework or kids or
work in the morning or
housework. Work. Yes, but I just want to say happy anniversary to us all, and cheers for another year. Hope it's gonna be. I know it's gonna be fabulous.
Yes, it is. More of the best.
And to the audience, thank you for tuning in. And thank you for being there for us and supporting us. Always subscribe, share, and like. Until next time. Goodbye, everybody.
Thank you guys. Love you.
Good night. Bye. You guys, love you.